Hello guys, welcome back for a new Italian language lesson. I thought about why can't we test our Italian language proficiency by taking the first and basic Italian language proficiency test, aka the A1. It's gonna test the basic and core Italian skills, but don't worry, we can do it together. So if you want to test your capabilities acquired so far, this is the right video for you. So with no further ado, let's get started. So if I type into Google A1 Italian test, okay, we can find many results. Yes, I already clicked them to watch, to scout one of the best A1 tests, and I think the first result is quite good. Comes from Europass Italian, which is an online school in Florence, and of course teaches Italian. So let's get started with the first question. So again, this is A1 test, very basics, is about 10 questions and is meant to verify if you acquired the basic knowledge of Italian language. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Okay, let's zoom a little bit. Oh, perfect. First question, whatever ti chiami, this means what's your name in English. It is the Italian version of the English how are you called? Okay, so let's put it that way. Point is that we have three possible answers: quanto, come, dove. We have interrogative adjectives, but we must pick the correct one. And we know that, of course, I leave in the description in the tab a video I made about interrogative adjectives, so you probably know the answer, but let's go step by step. Quanto, we know that means how much. Come is how. Dove is where. So the only possible option is come. Come ti chiami? How you're called, which is the Italian expression for what's your name. Second question. A Firenze, something, tanti musei e monumenti. Meaning, in Florence, many museums and monuments. So the English version should be, in Florence there are. So the question asks us to pick up the correct conjugation of the verb to be. The first one is the verb to be, and it's conjugated to there are, to the third plural person. The second option is hanno, is the verb to have, therefore is obviously wrong. Last one is similar to the first one because we have the pronoun ci, there, and the verb to be, but conjugated to the first singular person. And because we have the quantity adjective plural I, museo is singular, musei is plural, monumento is singular, monumenti is plural. So each one is plural. So to maintain the concordance, we must use a Firenze ci sono tanti musei e monumenti. In Florence there are a lot of museums and monuments. Next question. La casa di Mario è piccola. Nella sua casa ci sono soggiorno con cucina e camera da letto. Translation is Mario's house is small. In his house there are living room with kitchen and bedroom. Camera stands for room and letto is bed. So it is obvious that the question wants us to pick up the right articles. We have two nouns that need two articles. We have a list of indefinite articles. Un, una, uno, una, un. Both are one masculine and one feminine. Because soggiorno is masculine, that's why it wants a masculine article, and camera is feminine, that's why it wants a feminine article. But the answers are tricky because each one has one male and one female. However, we can think a little bit. Again, you can watch a previous video I made about articles. I leave links in the description and also the tab. If you already watched that video, you probably know the answer. Well, first, we can say that soggiorno starts by a consonant. Therefore, the elision is not going to happen, because elision happens when there are two vowels clashing. And soggiorno does not start with a vowel. So un apostrophe is not going to happen. We have two different choices. Both are plausible, and actually uno soggiorno can be correct because you are using a male article. However, with the consonant S, as we know, it is better to use un. So the correct answer is the first. La casa di Mario è piccola. Nella sua casa ci sono un soggiorno con cucina e una camera da letto. In his house there are a living room with a kitchen and a bedroom. Third question is an interaction between two persons. I suppose to be a dialogue between me and my mom. I say, ciao mamma, io esco con gli amici. And my mom should answer something. Ciao. Translation is, hi mom, I'm hanging out with my friends. And my mom is supposed to answer whatever and bye. So we can spot there are three possible answers. Each one is a possible salutation in Italian. However, I can say that arrivederci, it is a very formal way to say goodbye. In fact, it can be translated with goodbye or farewell. But hardly is gonna be used in an informal register between mom and son. The second one, pronto, is instead used in Italian language to answer to the phone. Like, hello? The only possible option is va bene, which means all right. Ciao mamma, io esco con gli amici. Va bene, ciao. Mom is supposed to answer all right, bye. Next question. Di dove sei is the Italian formula for where are you from. Again, I made a video, I leave in the description, on how these things work in Italian language. Sei di Firenze? Probably here is missing a question mark, but whatever. Di dove sei? Sei di Firenze? No. Di Firenze. sono di Milano. So the translation is, where are you from? Are you from Florence? No, I'm not from Florence. I come from Milan. This is a second question about the verb to be. Again, we can spot the same trick as before. We have the verb to have conjugated to the first singular person, but it doesn't belong here because we don't use the verb to have. We must pick up one of the two options. Both are correctly conjugated because there's the first hinge. We must use the verb to be conjugated to its first singular person. I am, io sono. However, we have no. We must underline the negation. So, non sono. No, I'm not from Florence. I am from Milan. Lei, Anna, a Roma. She, and Anna, in Rome. It is obvious that the English translation would be, she is Anna. She lives in Rome. So again, we must pick up the right verbs. It is, to me, pretty simple because the second verb is to live. To live is vivere. So the second one cannot be because the verb is giochiamo from giocare, to play. The third one is impossible because we have the verb to eat. Mangiate from mangiare. It's obvious that the first is the correct one. The verb to be conjugated to the third singular person, and the verb vivere, vive, to live, conjugated to its third singular person. So the concordance is maintained and it fits the sentence. Lei è Anna, vive a Roma. She is Anna, she lives in Rome. Okay, next question is a possible case scenario that will happen often. Non ho capito. Puoi ripetere? Which means I didn't understand. Can you repeat, please? Here we are asked to add a polite request. So, because if we say puoi ripetere, sounds a little bit rude. It is best to add a formula to translate the English please. Again, I made a video, I leave all details, and if you already watched that video, you know the correct answer. Permesso, it is something Italians say when they enter in a crowded room and they want to make their own way through people. You can ask permesso to make your way out from crowd. But it doesn't belong here. Grazie mille means thanks a lot. Puoi ripetere grazie mille could be correct but sounds not legit. Per favore is the right translation for please. Non ho capito. Puoi ripetere per favore? I didn't understand. Can you repeat please? Okay, next one. It is a question and an answer. So, person number one says, cosa hai fatto durante le vacanze? And person number two says, something, Venezia e I suoi canali. Translation is, what did you do during your vacations? And the answer is, Venice and its canals. Of course, we want to look for the right verb, which is to visit. visitare, because lavorare, lavorato means to work, partire, partire means to leave, visitare, to visit Venezia. Again, if you want to learn more about this tense, it is called passato prossimo. Watch the video I leave in the description. Here we have an example of how we must use the verb to like, piacere. Again, I covered this topic in a lesson. If you already watched that lesson, you probably already know the answer. Okay, all three options are variations of the verb to like. However, it is pretty clever to mind the number, because as I said in my lesson about the verb to like, it must be conjugated correctly depending by the number of the items we like. In this case, gli is plural, spaghetti is plural, while la Nutella is singular. Therefore, we are looking for a combination of a plural form and a singular form. This one, it is incorrect because we have twice in a row the singular formula. This is also incorrect because we have singular and plural. The correct one is the first. Mi piacciono gli spaghetti e mi piace la Nutella. I like spaghetti and I like Nutella. Last but not least, needless to say, I told you before in a lesson about how to dine in Italian restaurants, because we are facing the matter of fact we must doing what? Al ristorante dobbiamo un tavolo. At the restaurants we must whatever, a table. So we must pick up the correct verb. Ordinare means to order. We do not order a table. To call, chiamare. We must call, but not for a table. We must call to make a reservation. Prenotare, to make a reservation. Al ristorante dobbiamo prenotare un tavolo. At the restaurant we must reserve for a table. Done.
Are we a robot? Tricky question. This is the hardest one.
Ladies and gentlemen, class is dismissed. I hope you enjoyed the video. If that happened, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. But most importantly, please write in a comment your score. Just take in consideration that every blank spot that you filled up with the right answer makes you to earn 1 point. So again, let me know down in the comments how much you scored in this A1 test. But in the meantime, remember, speak like a genius. Bye bye.